Hey y'all, greetings earthlings. I am Elle, I am daughter of source, and I am everything. I'm back again today. I wanted to talk to y'all about some of my driving experiences. I know y'all done heard the phrase Lord take the wheel. So I wanted to give y'all some of my experiences of when Lord actually took the wheel. Okay. Now, I've had a lot of driving jobs over the years. I've had livery license when I drove for an ambulance company. I had Class B commercial license when I was driving for a school bus company. Um, I had Class A commercial license. I was driving tractor trailers and dump trucks. So this particular time, I'm gonna tell y'all about when I had just started a job at this construction company that was a paving company. So I was driving dump trucks. And I was driving tracks with dump trucks. And there was only one other lady that worked there besides the owner, because the owners was a husband and wife, and then the receptionist was a woman. But out on the yard and like driving and doing all the labor, it was just me and another woman, a older white lady, and the rest were men. But I was still on my probation period. I had just started. I hadn't even been there a week, and I got really sick. And but I didn't want to take off because I had just started and I was still in my probation period. So I kept going to work, and this one particular morning, I was feeling really bad. So I took a lot of medication before I went to work, because I was just like, I gotta make it through this day. So I had took a lot of medication. I had orange juice, all that kind of stuff. It was like I thought I had a really bad cold or coming down with the flu or something. So I get to work, and I'm still in my training, and we have to go to a site, a paving site. And my bosses tell me to follow the older lady that had been working with them for a while. They told me to follow her to the site because I didn't know how to get there. I didn't have GPS in my truck and all that stuff. So I'm like, okay, well, she pulls out the lot. I pull out the lot right behind her. We pull out the parking lot of the company onto the road, and her truck stops. And so I stop behind her, and I'm sitting there, and she never moves. So finally, she gets out of her truck and she comes back to mine, and she's telling me that her truck won't move, that her wheels are locked or something. She don't know what's going on. She can't find nothing wrong, and she don't know why her truck just stopped. Like soon as we came out of the parking lot, and it won't move anymore. So it just so happens that we had a garage on our lot. So we right at the garage. So she go get the mechanics. They come out to look at her truck or whatever. And they can't find anything wrong with her truck, but it will not move. So the bosses tell her to get in the truck with me that I'm driving and direct me to get to the job site. And so we get to the job site, and on the way back, I pass out driving, y'all. Now I'm driving a triaxle dump truck. And it's a big truck. It's a Mack truck, dump truck, a big Mack truck that they turned into a dump truck. So we driving, and well, I'm driving and she the passenger, and I start to feel weird, but I'm really not sure what's going on. I know I done took all this medicine, but next thing I know, I hear a scream, and I was opening my eyes. Out. I had passed out on the highway driving this dump truck. And her scream brought me out of it. But when she screamed, She reached all the way over and she grabbed the wheel, which is what stopped us from crashing because we were going around being like off of like an exit ramp off of one highway onto another highway. And I passed out and she grabbed the wheel and was able to stop us from crashing. Well, I went to the job sent me to the hospital, but because they knew I was sick, so they didn't fire me or nothing. Because they knew I was sick, and the boss was telling me that he asked me, did I take medications before I came to work that morning? And I'm like, yeah, because they knew I was sick and I didn't want to miss work. And so they didn't fire me because of that, because he said he figured it was the medications that made me pass out. And when I got to the hospital, the doctor um, asked me, what did I do for a living? And I told her I was a truck driver. And she told me that it's a good thing that I came into the doctor because I could have passed out driving my truck, which I didn't tell her that I actually did pass out driving my truck. That's why I was there. But they told me I had pneumonia. So that's what was wrong with me. I had pneumonia, like I was really sick. And I passed out because of all the medication and the sickness or whatever. So that's one time that I say um, Source took the wheel because Source stopped that lady's truck and made her have to get in my truck. And she knew that because the next day when she came in to work, she was no, it wasn't the next day because I was off after I went to the hospital. But when I came back to work, she was asking me, did I believe in God and did I go to church and all this kind of stuff. And she was asking me because she said she felt like it was meant for her truck to stop for her to get in the truck with me. And I was telling her, like, yeah, that's the same thing I was I was thinking because I know Source. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, ain't no coincidence in my life. Plus, the mechanics never found nothing wrong with her truck. And when we got back that day, her truck was just fine and moving like there was never nothing wrong with it. So we both knew that it was meant to happen the way it did. So um, another time I was working for this same company and I actually fell asleep driving. I was on my way to a site where we were building a road for a new community that was being built or whatever. We was building the roads for the community. And I had just got loaded up, y'all. I had almost 17 tons of smoking hot black top in the back of my dump truck. And I mean, it was smoking. I put that tarp on and you could just see the smoke just coming out the sides of that tarp as I was driving down the highway. That shit was hot. Now, I remember I looked up at us at the side, exit side. It said I had 2 miles to my exit, the exit I was supposed to take. But y'all, I saw that sign and it was like I instantly got extremely sleepy. Like my eyes got really heavy. And it was real early in the morning, but my eyes got real heavy. And I was like, oh my goodness, like I'm so sleepy. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I got 2 miles left to my exit. When I get off this exit, I'm pulling this truck over and I got to close my eyes for at least 5 minutes before I get on to this site. Like I cannot keep driving or I'm hurt. Somebody gonna get hurt. I said, I got to pull over. I got 2 miles, just 2 miles, 2 miles, 2 miles. Y'all, I didn't even make the 2 miles. I instantly fell asleep. And I mean instantly, because that's the last thing I remembered was seeing that sign that said I had 2 miles left to my exit. Y'all, when I woke up, I was 5 exits past my exit. That's how hard and long I was asleep. 5 exits past my exit that I still had 2 miles to go to even get to my exit. And I was 5 exits past it. So can y'all imagine how many miles that was? And when I opened my eyes, y'all, It was a caravan all around my truck. All black vehicles with tinted windows was all around my truck. Like they was leading me. I couldn't see into not one of these vehicles. All of them had dark tinted windows, and I was like, "Source done send me a caravan." Y'all, I knew it was Source. When I woke up and saw how long I was asleep, and I saw them vehicles around my truck, and it wasn't no other cars around us. Just all these black vehicles with black tinted windows around my truck. They was in front of me. They was on each side of me. They was in back of me. And once I grabbed the wheel and got back control and realized where I was at and all that, they all just drove off. They just all drove off down the road and was gone. You tell me that was Source. Tell me that wasn't Source. When I think about what could have happened that morning, and I'm driving down the highway with smoking hotness, 17 tons of it, and I'm asleep behind the wheel of a triaxle dump truck for 10 or more miles, and nothing happened, absolutely nothing. And I was coming around a bend when I woke up, going around a bend into another state. Source took the wheel. Send me a band of angels or whatever you want to call them. I couldn't even see who was driving the cars. Couldn't even see in them, y'all. But they guided me for them miles. And when I woke up and got back control of that truck, they drove right on off. Like they just drove off into the sunset and was gone. They never even knew about that. Of course, I ain't tell them, but I was like, shut the motherfucking door. That type of shit be happening to me. Hmm. Now, it was another time when I wasn't working and I was just driving a regular vehicle with my daughter, but it was a snowstorm and we on the highway. Every time I be on the highway, we on the highway and I'm driving and there's no cars in front of me. You know, everybody driving real slow. It's a snowstorm. It's cars behind me, but there's none in front of me. And we driving real slow. We on the highway, but I'm on a 2-lane highway. And I notice ahead of me is two cars blocking both lanes. I don't know if they crashed into each other or if they spun out on the ice or the snow or whatever happened. They were crossways across the highway. So they were blocking both lanes and there was no way, no shoulder room on either side to go around them. So I'm trying to think, how am I going to stop my vehicle completely on this snow and ice so that I don't become part of the accident? Because there's no cars in front of me. It's me and it's the wreck, and then there's cars coming down the highway behind me. So I tell my daughter, like, I can't even explain to y'all what was going through my head, like how I'm about to survive this accident, but I just knew what I was supposed to do. So I tell my daughter, she was probably like